writers, welcome back to my channel where I am planning a novel for the very first time, or how I figured that out with the 5 commandments of storytelling. So those are that every scene has to have these 5 things. Inciting incident. Can't have a scene without an inciting incident. Progressive complications. So this might be one thing, then another, then another, then another. Yeah? Then it needs a crisis, which is the crisis question. The climax, where the crisis question is answered, and the resolution, which is what happens after the climax of that scene. So I always teach this to my daughter with the term once upon a time. So 5 sentences gets your story. So once upon a time, your setting. There was your subject of your story. Every day, that subject of that story does something every single day. So that is your hook. You're showing your character's motivation. You're showing your character's situation. You are showing you cannot have a change if you don't first have it clearly set what happens. And that's what that sentence is about. And then you have until. Inciting incident. Until something happens. Because of that is the result of that inciting incident. And then you have progressive complications. So you might go back to an until, or you might go to another because. So a progressive complication is always the result of what happens. So everything happens until somebody jumps out of the wall, and that changes things. Or everything, or because I have made this choice, this happens. And you'll see this in stories. It's actually, you can watch a cartoon and see how this works. It's insane how key to any good story this is, because of that until. Not and then. And then is just a list. So it can't be and then. It needs to be because of that or until. And then I'm going to take you through how I use this to outline my novel in Story Grid spreadsheet. So let's go to the screen. I broke down what I thought was the middle build turning point. So Casey is dead. Jaya's betrayed them. Do they run? That's a good scene, yeah? But wait. Actually, I'm now at the middle build crisis. Well, what's the middle build crisis then? So I go back and I say, okay, well, the betrayal would be the inciting instance of the crisis. Yeah? So then what are they going to do about her? Well, then that can't be this up here in the turning point. So do they keep going? No, they're not going to. They have to, this has to stop. But then what happens is they get betrayed. And the cool girls betrayed them. So then the police are coming. So what are they going to do about Jay? What are they going to do about Jay? But that also leads me down to the climax here. As well. And changing that. So what I would say is, what are they going to do about Jay? I don't know, actually. This is really, really hard work to dig this deep. And I haven't even written it yet. It's really interesting. So what are they going to do about her? The police are coming, so we got to do it urgently. Well, I might leave that for now and then pop down to, I know how it's all going to resolve. I know that. So that's really easy here. Insert the cells there. I know how it's going to resolve. It's going to resolve with them running. They're going to run. So they're going to run. That's the resolution of the middle build climax. So that means the crisis is the climax is that they decide to run together. That's Tay and Renee. I've already sent Rory off. He's left. So the crisis is, does she trust Ty? Earlier, Ty's betrayed her as well. So the progressive complication, maybe sirens, maybe a helicopter, maybe no car. So how are they going to get a car? Maybe a progressive complication in that John comes with the car because Taya has called him. So the inciting incident will be the police are coming. Not sure how that's gonna, and I'm gonna try and, so that needs to be a show not tell. So sirens, helicopter, alarms, people running, that sort of thing. Lots of action there. But what are they gonna do about Jay? I don't know what they're gonna do about Jay. I'm gonna have to figure that out. And this is where this is so fascinating to me, because before I would have stopped with those, with basically the turning point, the middle build crisis, the middle build climax, the middle build resolution being one scene. But now that I know they need to be different scenes, I am digging a lot deeper and finding a lot more twists and turns in this point, which will make it much more satisfying to read. I'm extremely excited about it, and I just cannot say enough about Story Grid. Just so good. In the video, I talk about the middle build turning point, the middle build crisis, the middle build climax, and the middle build resolution. So you can see, those sound familiar? Those are some of the 10 Commandments, or the 5 Commandments of storytelling, right? So each scene has those 5 commandments, and then each of the parts of the story have that. So the middle build, the middle of your story, the juice, where, you know, everything happens, that has, just like a scene, it has an inciting incident, that has a has progressive complications, that has a crisis. So the turning point is a progressive complication. It has a crisis as a climax, and it has a resolution. Just like a scene